shut up. You're so
He just,
stupid.
I'm saying
That is ridiculous.
he
No,
seems soft.
quiet. Thank you.
That was right-wing YouTubers Josiah and Isabella Moody. She seems to be taking the biblical injunction, wives submit to your husbands, very seriously. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Margaret Mordahl. Welcome to my channel, Virtue Lies in the Middle, where we discuss current topics and try to remain as balanced as possible. Today, we'll be talking about Christian YouTubers Josiah and Isabella Moody. As I said, they take the biblical injunction, wives submit to your husbands, very seriously. As a Catholic wife, I too believe that wives should submit to their husbands and that husbands should be the head of the household. However, people are saying that these two take it a bit too far, so I'll be reacting to some clips for you today. Let's go.
I feel like to young women, unironically, they need to find a man that's very misogynistic. If you at all want to have a guy that's going to make you follow his frame, and you need to find a strong Christian man that's going to put you in your place, or else you're going to dominate the relationship.
Okay, so hear me out. She has a point. There's an old nursery rhyme that I always think of when I'm talking about this kind of stuff. The hart he loves the highwood, the hare he loves the hill, the knight he loves his bright sword, the lady loves her will. So basically, women just really like getting their own way. They want what they want, and they want it their way. However, if they get their way the whole time, they can just become absolute monsters and ruin the lives of everyone around them. Think Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Audrey McAllister from Young Sheldon. So women definitely need a man who is not going to allow himself to be henpicked, who is going to balance her out and not give in to her every desire. Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, anyone? However, a man does not need to bash his wife, subjugate her, or control her in the process. It is entirely possible to be a manly man and the head of your household without putting your wife down or being a misogynist. There is a balance, folks. Remember, virtue lies in the middle. And I would like to add that this goes both ways. Men have faults too that their wives should be aware of and not allow to flourish. This is a two-sided equation.
I wouldn't have let you walk out until my point was conveyed that you do what you're supposed to do, whatever I tell you to do, because that's your job, is to submit, do it with a smile on your face. I don't care. And I wouldn't have let you leave. I would have, you would have had to eat whatever mean things I would have said. And then the job would have got done. And then afterwards, after the cooling down process, I would have, repented to God and smoothed things over with you for the sinful behavior. That's how things would have went down.
So let me get this straight. He is supposed to hold her accountable for sinning, if it even is a sin for a wife to walk away while her husband commands her to stay and listen to his abuse, and I'm not convinced that it is a sin. But she is not allowed to hold him accountable for his sins of anger and unkindness. This is exactly what I was just saying about marriage being a two-sided thing. Marriage is not solely a man holding his wife accountable. It is a husband and wife holding each other accountable, lifting each other up, encouraging each other to be the best versions of themselves as possible. In fact, I think it would be wrong for a wife to allow her husband's bad behavior to go unchecked. It would be her duty to speak to him, perhaps not in that moment when the emotions are high, but after, and let him know that it was not okay for him to speak to her like that, and she will not allow him to speak to her like that again. The wife is a chief advisor to her husband. She is not a servant, she is not a doormat, and she's failing in her duty if she lets his bad behavior slide. Here's a story from my own life, which my husband did give me permission to share. My husband made a decision that was going to impact both of us greatly. And I thought it was my duty as the supportive and submissive wife to say, yes, whatever you want. You are the decision maker. We will do this. Well, it didn't go quite as well as we wanted it to go. And about 2 weeks later, he asked me, "Why did you let me do this?" And I was so shocked and confused because I thought that that was my duty to just say yes and be submissive. However, it wasn't. It's my duty as a wife to advise my husband. Why am I even there if I'm not going to be his advisor? Now, if a husband does not listen to his wife's advice or continues bad behavior after she counsels him, that is an entirely different story and not something that we're covering right now. Let's do the next clip.
How do you respect a man who's going to go cry on stage about you?
He didn't cry. His voice cracked. He was getting emotional.
Okay, maybe
If
I'm
that
being
was
too
me,
harsh.
that means you cheat on me?
No.
That means you're cheating?
No.
Shut up. You're so stupid.
I'm saying
That is
he
ridiculous.
seems
No,
soft.
quiet. Thank you.
Wives, submit to your husbands is from Ephesians 5:22. However, what's often left out of this actually quite lengthy and detailed verse is the second part, which says, "Husbands, love your wives," and husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. I do not see that second part in action here at all. Josiah says to his wife, "Shut up. You're so stupid. This is ridiculous. No, be quiet." And his wife's mouth snaps shut. This is not lovable behavior on the part of a husband. However, I hold the wife accountable too for encouraging and supporting this type of behavior. So I guess in conclusion, it's nice that this couple is so in support of the first part of Ephesians 5:22. However, I find the lack of evidence that they've read the full verse regrettable, as well as their downplaying of a wife's true role in marriage. So that's all I have for you today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned a little something. I'll see you in the next one.